Howdy everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to be looking at a greenskin versus Bretonnia battle. And in this one I have a pretty typical Bretonian army with the flying squad of Pegasus Knights and Leon Coeur. I have, you can see them flying out in front. I have a damsel here with Curse of the Midnight Wind. So I'll be overcasting that on anybody I can see. I have a main line here of 6 spearmen, spread out just a little bit. I didn't want them to be that close because I figured the greenskin line would be longer than me, and so if I kind of spread my units out like this a little bit more, then they wouldn't be able to get to my archers as easily. So that's kind of what I was doing here, and maybe if they charged in here against my spearmen, I could shoot into the sides with my peasant bowmen. So you know me, always experimenting with different kind of gaps in the line. You know I love to put my riflemen between the lines. And so now I'll be using my peasant bowmen. And so these bowmen will mostly be targeting Biggins and Savage Orcs. They're going to be their main targets, and of course any Ragnarok spiders. And these men-at-arms with polearms, I have 3 of them. I'll be throwing them in wherever I see black orcs. Or, yeah, that's why I mostly brought these guys, to reinforce and counter any black orcs that they brought, so I can at least have some armor-piercing damage fighting against them. On each flank, I have a Knight of the Realm. I wish I could have brought Grail Knights, but it just didn't fit quite into the budget. I always wish I could bring 2 of those guys, but it kind of slows down the rest of the army a little bit. And in the middle, of course, I have a Trebuchet, just so I can remain defensive and then sit back and let my archers have the best firing angles that they can get. So let's go take a look at the greenskin army. He's got 1 Goblin Wolf Rider out on each flank. You can see one way over there. And he's got a very mixed main line. 2 Black Orcs and 2 Goblins here. And on each side an Orc Biggin. Of course he has the Ragnarok Queen. Most people bring this, so you do have to be aware of that and ready to counter it. Over here, he's got the Broken Tusk Mob, a very dangerous Orc Boar Boy Biggin. And in that blob, he has a Spider, a Goblin Big Boss on a Spider, and Wurzag on his Boar. So I'm going to be looking out for Effigy of the Git. And over here, he's got the Hammer of Gork, Rock Lobber, who will be opening fire very quickly on my archers. So we're going to get off started here. You can see a decently long video. And I'm going to start moving my flying squad out here, try and angle them, just like make it look like I'm approaching the main line, but I'm actually trying to cut off these Wolf Riders, but he's smart about it and he moves forward. Moving up my Trebuchet here so it can fire at the Black Orcs. But it does make a nice target here. My blocky archers are going to be sitting right here next to the Trebuchet. We're going to see some rocks coming in here soon. But yeah, Curse of the Midnight Wind will help my Spearmen at Arms last much longer than they otherwise would in any sort of melee combat with the greenskins. So that'll definitely be something I'm trying to cast as much as possible. I think I'm shooting at the Black Orcs over there. Yeah. Oh, you can see just devastating volley there by the Hammer of Gork. And when that happens, I'm immediately going to move them away from the artillery. But damage is done. They've taken a considerable amount of damage. And they almost rout just from that. So definitely a powerful unit there. You can see, luckily those missed. So this skirmish stage is going to go on here for a little bit, as we kind of decide who is going to be winning this exchange. At some point I decide that that's him, he's going to, so I'm going to move up, and at the same time he is, so he's going to be moving up as well. Here I switch targets to the Broken Tusk Mob. I saw their kind of blocky formation here, but it doesn't really matter. There I got 2 models, which is good. Only 1 there. So not doing too great damage against these guys. But they are an expensive unit, so any models I can knock down are... Ooh, that was a good hit. What was that, 3? So maybe I should have kept firing with these guys, but you can see he's going to start moving up here. Kind of just posturing here with my flying squad. I wanted to figure out if he had any rusty airs hidden behind the lines. So it's always good to do as much scouting as possible. You can see here we're both going to move up. You can see my archers are taking considerable damage. And my first target for these guys is actually not going to be the Ragnarok Spider Queen. It's going to be these big ones. Definitely a huge threat, and they don't have a shield block chance. So my peasant bowmen will do a great job at fighting against them. And you can see my Knights of the Realm. I'm going to make a random just jab at his Goblin Wolf Riders. Hope he doesn't notice, and I can catch him. You can see I'm doing decent damage to the Black Orc, but not too much. As the lines, I move up my archers as the lines kind of finish up. I really should be moving this damsel in closer, because she has the Encourage aura, which is nice. So here he's going to be smart. I'm not going to be able to catch them, but I am going to push them out of the way and start making a move for the Hammer of Gork as my trebuchet continues to fire in. I'm just trying to distract him here with my flying squad. And here you can see the first volleys are going to be unleashed. On that side I'm targeting the big ones as well. But smart move here, he raises the spiders in. So not going to get much damage in. I think I got one volley, you can see a little bit of damage there. Ooh, I must have caught those Goblin Wolf Raiders, which is nice. I cast Curse the Midnight Wind on these guys. I'm going to rear charge these Black Orcs as they get into combat. Probably would have been better to wait a second, but I'm just trying to micro so much that I mess that up. Ooh, lots of friendly fire damage there. And you can see here, just trying to break this flank as fast as possible so that my Goon Squad can then go to a different flank to support my weak infantry that is not going to win any of these fights, even probably against the Goblins. Not going to do so well. You can see my Knights of the Realm cleaning up the artillery back here. Barely dodge a Foot of Gork right there, which is very, very lucky. But I did, a couple of them were still back there, and so they took a little bit of damage. But you can see my Paladins over here, and without Leon Leoncoeur, not quite able to route this instantly, but with Leon Leoncoeur coming in, it's going to do a little bit better. But you can see here, my Spearmen not doing well, holding out. Just holding out, that's all they really can do. These guys losing slightly just to Goblins. These guys losing slightly. On this side, I'm doing a little bit better because of the opening volleys from my Bowmen. And I'm going to be moving these Spearmen around to flank pretty soon. Finally, I clean these up, and should be bringing them over here and rear charging, hammer and anviling the highest value target on the field. That is infantry, and so that would be the Black Orcs. You can see my Peasant Bowmen all turn to fight the Ragnarok Spider, but it has so much armor, they're not really going to do that great of a job. Also good move here, spawning the spiders. My trebuchet is now going to stop firing, but you can see this hero blob and the Broken Tusk mob easily able to clean up my anti-infantry Knights of the Realm. So I'm getting a little worried there, and I'm just trying, there we go, finally pop sort of prone, and I'm going to route this portion, but his hero squad is close behind, but I do have spear support, so that is slightly, I think, in my advantage, unless these big ones come back, and then it'll definitely shift into his favor. Finally cleaning up these spider hatchlings, and my men-at-arms with polearms should be able to come in and help out. You can see taking some damage here, and I definitely don't want to be here. I want to get out of here. I need to deal with that spider. There you saw my rear charge with the Knights of the Realm. But they're not going to like being so close to the spider. You can see my men-at-arms with polearms terrified off the field. Not what I'm looking for. On this side, again, routing, and it's not looking good. I do have this kind of tied down, just with my extra spearmen, but I'm kind of losing that flank, and we're in a big hero brawl on this side. I do still have my damsel, and I'm going to throw her in against the Goblins. It's a good place for her to help and deal damage. And I'm going to come in here, try and deal with this spider with my heroes. But one of my Pegasus Knights is caught up over here, so he's not able to come help. but my bowmen are going to be able to turn around and fire in. You can see, though, Leonliakur able to put down a lot of damage here, but the Black Orcs are in close support, so definitely want to get my Pegasus Knight Paladin out of there. You can see all my guys routed. The Spearman is losing, so not ideal, but because of I brought my Knights of the Realm out and recharged the Goblins, I cleaned them up and freed up the Spearman to either help this fight or that one. But you can see over here, the Broken Test Mob not liking being stuck in with Men-at-Arms with Polearms, and so they're going to do a great job of cleaning this guy up, and my Bowmen are now free to turn, and my Damsel helped wrap up the Goblins, and so now it's looking a bit more even. If I can get the Spider off the field, it'll basically be I won the middle and he won the flanks, and we'll see how that turns out. Though my Trebuchet is firing again, so I'm going to be shooting into this. Oh, I think I'm shooting at these, Black Orcs that routed off the field, and I'm going to charge them with a Knights of the Realm. That the one that came back after being routed away by the Hero Blob. So yeah, and there you can see the Spider running away. Now I just need to clean up the Black Orcs, and I'm going to do that with a... I'm actually going to not do that with a final charge of my Knights of the Realm. I'm going to go clean up these big uns here with my Knights of the Realm. Get a good charge here. And their morale is just not going to hold up again on the charge like that. So now you can see I luckily still have my Men-at-Arms with Polearms over here. They were holding strong because they were mostly fighting Spider Hatchlings, so they're going to still definitely be strong. My Bowmen here have a great position, shooting right into the sides of Biggins, and they're going to just die by the droves to concentrated arrow fire like that. Without a shield, not superb armor, they're going to drop. But you can see his Goblin Big Boss here coming after my Damsel, but I'm going to send all my heroes after Wurzag and try and end his greenskin Wah. So you can see kind of a close one here, but luckily I was able to pull out a devastating shot by my Trebuchet. Pyrrhic victory, definitely a close game. Bretonnia, definitely one of my favorite factions, though it is just a few units. So I'm excited for them to add just a couple more. I think would be great. Grail Pilgrims I'm really excited for. That Grail Reliquary. The peasants carrying a deceased Grail Knight. I think that is amazing, and I think that will be super fun and add a lot of flavor to the faction. So let's look at the kills. You can see not super good kills here on the Paladins and the Leonliakur, though they did take out the Spider, and they did do a good deal of damage to Black Orcs around the map. Good kills here on like 4 of these Spearmen. These two, I don't know what they were fighting, but did not do well. This is probably the one that was fighting the Spider, so good kills on these two. Good kills on one of the Peasant Bowmen, but they were mostly just firing at the Spider or Biggins in that initial volley. 132 kills here on the Knights of the Realm. Amazing. That was probably the one on the right side that got into the Wolf Riders and the Hammer of Gork, and then recharged the Black Orcs and was kind of ping-ponging around in the back lines. Definitely the only way these Spearmen are going to survive is if you use support units like your heroes or your Damsel or your cavalry to do the work for them, because they're not going to do it themselves. And you can see decent kills here actually on the Field Trebuchet. I thought it did worse than that. Hammer of Gork definitely did better. I think it costs 100 gold more, but it is I think a superior artillery piece. It does have less range though, so that is something to be aware of. A Ragnarok Queen here, 3763 in the Broken Tusk Mob. Definitely a powerful unit there. 83, 96, 50 kills on Goblins. That is embarrassing for Bretonnian Spearmen. Goblins are better than you, and you should feel bad. Yeah, and Wurzag did well. I think he did cast Effigy of the Git on King Leonliakur at some point, but I did miss it. Anyways, good game to my opponent, and thanks for watching. That's that.